Welcome. In today's video, I am going to be talking about semantics. Let's start with a definition. Semantics studies the meaning of words, phrases, and sentences. It also analyzes what a sentence conventionally means, taking into account the elements that compose it rather than what an individual speaker wants to express in a certain moment when saying that sentence. Knowing this, we can say that there are two kinds of meaning: the objective or general meaning that stands for what a sentence originally means. For example, if we say, he is smart, the sentence means that a male is intelligent, while the subject or local meaning stands for what a sentence means according to the context in which it is said. For instance, taking the previous sentence, he is smart, it can be used in a sarcastic way to say the contrary, that a male is not intelligent. He is smart. This technical approach focuses on the objective or general meaning and not in the subjective or local meaning. Finally, we can say that linguistic semantics has to do with the conventional meaning contained in the words, phrases, and sentences of the language. Even though we are focusing on the objective or general meaning, it is divided into conceptual and associative meaning. However, when talking about the meaning of words in a language, we want to know more about the conceptual meaning than in the associative meaning. On one hand, we have the conceptual meaning, which encloses the fundamental components of the meaning. In other words, when a term is literally used. For example, the fundamental components of the word needle in English may include thin, sharp, steel instruments, since these expressions are involved in the initial term, needle. Moreover, the conceptual meaning refers to what a sentence clearly expresses by the words that have been used and without being affected by any context. On the other hand, the associative meaning stands for the different associations or connotations that a word receives by an individual. It is important to recall that the associative meaning can differ from one individual to another one, and they are not part of the word's conceptual meaning. For instance, the word money can be associated with rich, job, or to work by a specific person, but another person, a materialistic, let's say, it is going to associate the word money with happiness, purchasing power, and so on. However, we have to recall that these words aren't part of the basic conceptual meaning of the expression money. It is important to take into account that poets, novelists, advertisers, and lovers may be interested in the use of the associative meaning. For example, an advertiser could say that his or her product is like the blood in the body, making reference that his product is essential in the lives of the possible buyers. A lover may say, "You are like the sunset in the beach," instead of saying, "You are beautiful," and so on. Although the blood in the body is associated to the expression essential and a sunset in the beach to beautiful, they are not part of the basic conceptual meanings. Now, let's check what constitutes the study of basic conceptual meaning, starting by knowing semantic features. How to understand the basic conceptual meaning. One helpful way to understand the study of basic conceptual meaning is to start by knowing the oddness of a sentence when reading it, such as the following. The chair sits on the girl. The computer watches TV. The dog is playing video games. These sentences are syntactically correct since they follow the basic rules that syntax asks for. For instance, the first sentence, the chair sits on the girl. The chair is a noun phrase, sits the verb on a preposition, and the girl is another noun phrase. So the oddness of these sentences does not proceed from their syntactic structure. However, they are semantically odd. On the other hand, the girl sits on the chair is perfectly acceptable, but let's find out why. The components of the conceptual meaning of the expression the chair are totally different from the expression the girl, making impossible for one to be the subject of the sentence, but not for the other one. Moreover, the verb sit needs or requires a subject that is capable of sitting. So the expression the girl has this property, but the chair doesn't have it. This can be known more general by finding out the crucial element or feature of meaning that determine which subject can be used for the verb sit. In this case, the verb sit demands a subject that is an animate being. So, to describe this idea, we can use the sign plus and minus to determine which of the two expressions has this characteristic. Consequently, we have the following analysis. The girl plus animate denotes an animate being, but the chair minus animate doesn't not denote an animate being. The examples helps to have an illustration for the process of analyzing meaning in terms of semantic feature. The features plus anime plus human minus human plus female minus female can be used as the basic elements to differentiate the meaning of each word in a language from every other word. So, in case of providing the crucial distinguishing features of the meaning of a set of words such as chair and girl, we could have the following diagram. In general, we could say that girl accomplishes with the features human plus, female plus, adult minus. It can be said that they are very important for a noun to be the subject of a particular verb, joining together the syntactic analysis with the semantic feature, so the girl accomplishes the feature noun human plus. Having done this analysis, for the following sentence, we have the is playing video games, which means that it needs or requires a noun that is human plus. This approach helps us to predict which nouns make this sentence semantically odd. Some examples that don't accomplish with the required feature noun human plus are chair, dog, and computer. Although we can have an idea of the semantic features of the word, this approach is not without problem, since it just outlines the conceptual components of a word meaning. But there are words that don't have a clear component meaning, such as advice, threat, and warning, so that for them it would be difficult to differentiate their components of, or features. The problem with this approach is that it treats the words as containers with meaning components, but there is more in the meaning of word than just basic types or features. Now let's continue with semantic roles. We cannot treat words as containers, as we have already said, since instead we can using their role for fulfilling within the situation described in the sentence. For example, the sentence "the girl plays with a doll" expresses an action which is play. The noun phrase in the sentence describes the roles of entities such as people and things involved in the action. In this case, semantic roles, also known as thematic roles, which can be identified for these noun phrases, known as agent and theme. That's it for me, and I just want to thank for watching this video. Bye.